Welcome to Family Lifestyles. We are delighted that you could spend some time today with us as we are on location on the Scottsville Public Square on the campus of Lindsey Wilson College. Many of you still may not be aware of the opportunities that are available in Scottsville and other small communities that are offered by our colleges and universities, but in particular Lindsey Wilson College here in Scottsville. We are looking at the reoccurring problem of unemployment and the support of college campuses such as Lindsey Wilson in providing workforce development support and opportunities to learn more about current situations. So sit back, enjoy, and I'd like to welcome our guest today who will be joining us for the first segments of the program. And of course, we welcome back Richie Sanders.
Glad to be here, always glad to be here.
Great, and of course Richie is Allen County's Economic Development Director and very involved in workforce development. And we also welcome for the first time a very special guest, and we have Linda Grider, who is, of course, with Lindsey Wilson College as the Director of, and I want to get this correct, Community Education and Outreach. And also she wears the hat of the Director of the Center for Entrepreneurship.
Perfect.
Yay! So many hats at one point. Well, we're so glad that you could join us today.
Thank you. It's such a pleasure to be here, and we appreciate the invitation and welcome you to our campus.
The beautiful campus in a beautiful historic building here in downtown Scottsville.
Yes.
It's great.
Thank you. We're
beautiful.
Very proud of it.
Yes, you are, and we're very proud to have you here for your 20th anniversary.
Yes.
Yes.
This year, 20 years, so we want to make our presence known.
Absolutely, and a great benefit you have provided. And Richie,
Thank
you know, we talked about Lindsey Wilson being a partner in your role as Economic Development Director. And, you know, our situation has not been good in Allen County or other regional communities such as Allen too, with unemployment and employment opportunity.
Well, and that's the thing that we talk about often, you know, that people have to be willing to train and retrain and you know, this global economy, what's going on, and you know, there's usually about, you know, every couple of weeks I'm talking to Dorinda, who's the Director of Operations here at Lindsey Wilson.
Does a great job.
Does a great job.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, Lindsey Wilson's always been there to, willing to roll up their sleeves and try new things, and
Mm-hmm.
which is very important. You know, and it goes back to the long history of Lindsey Wilson and in the Scottsville, and you know, a great entrepreneur. You know, Cal Turner was the one that was instrumental in
That's
bringing Lindsey Wilson here, and he's recognized as one of the greatest entrepreneurs in not only South Central Kentucky but all of Kentucky. And you know, I think that really what he did and his predecessors helped plant the seeds. If you look at Scottsville and Allen County, we're one of only 5 counties in the state that's above the national average in entrepreneur development and income, and I think was planted years ago with successful people like Mr. Turner.
Absolutely, and for those who are saying, well, who is Mr. Turner? Well, Mr. Turner is synonymous with Dollar General Corporation, and of course it started as a very simple store, kind of as a small business, but grew into a great national corporation.
And I would invite people, you know, if you haven't been to Scottsville in a while,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you should come and just look at what's happened downtown, and you can actually
Yes.
go see
Yes.
the renovated original Dollar General distribution center that now is a senior citizen center, and that's, you know, it's a fantastic facility, and if you have the opportunity to go inside that facility, you can actually see the history of Scottsville and the community.
And it's a great testimony to the power of one entrepreneur.
One entrepreneur.
Mr. Turner's father, grandfather too, before him, really working hard, just starting out of the trunk of their car,
No.
you know, literally like that too.
Yeah.
So Linda, I know that that's still the same story today with the Center for Entrepreneurship and what you're doing to help that one person begin a business.
That's exactly right, Janet. We're very pleased to be in Scottsville because, and we've said this at our Chamber of Commerce meeting that we sponsored recently, that Scottsville and Allen County is alive and well in terms of striving to get new businesses, and the businesses that are here, for instance, Smuckers, they're expanding and hiring, unlike many other communities. So we're very pleased to be a part of that. We understand the need to re-educate the workforce. This day and time, one time around just doesn't do it. You have to continue to hone those skills and to be ready for not only next year, but in the future years down the road. So that's why we wanted to come here and to offer the opportunity for those entrepreneurs. And you have a lot of aspiring entrepreneurs out in the community. We've met many of them, many more that would like to know more about it so that they could pursue their passion and their dream. And we're here to support that program and to provide the resources for accomplishing that dream of theirs.
I see. So, Richie, I know in talking with industry and with small business, Linda, we hear skills. What skills literally are lacking or that people need to continue to hone as they progress?
Well, there's been so much change in technology. You know, you hear a
Okay.
lot about about every company wants industrial maintenance and people who can work computer and know Word and Quicken and
Okay.
those are skills that companies are always asking about and requiring about, and so those are some good examples.
Okay,
of,
that makes sense.
Yes.
That's almost
Yes.
becoming a personal skill as well as a workforce skill.
It is a personal
Yes,
skill,
that's
and
right.
and then the robotics and the technology that's going on in the manufacturing plants that we have. It's just phenomenal if you look at all the change that's going on.
Right, too. And, just basic skills in terms of maybe working with people, working as a team, and just facilitating project management probably. I hear a lot about that, which requires some different skill sets, right, Linda?
I think the soft skills
Are needed so badly. And we find when we speak with employers that those are the skills that are often lacking. So we like to concentrate on the soft skills to shore up that aspect because employers want employees who communicate well,
Oh,
are
yes.
articulate, get along with others in the workplace. And that's what makes the employer successful when the employees are dedicated and committed and have the skills necessary, the technical as well as the soft skills.
Yes,
to
it
meet their
takes a
needs.
blend of everything, and I think technology, in a sense, may, with a lot of younger generations, have led them to be more introverted, and maybe the soft skills are not as easy to come by as one might think
And
with
that
technology.
there is research and documentation to support that.
Yes. So those little things that we've often taken for granted are an important part of work skill development. Richie, do you see again I know we've shifted from big economy with manufacturing to a different sort of economy in small communities.
Well, if you look at all the statistics and I know Lindsay Wilson's looked at this too. The growth is going to be in your small
Okay.
to medium-sized businesses. The large plants, are almost a thing of the past because of what's going on with the world economy. Things are, it's a global economy now, and so, we try to offer a lot of opportunities for small businesses and work with
Makes
Lindsay
sense.
Wilson and even the state, you've seen a big shift in agriculture, what's
Absolutely.
going on in agriculture
Entrepreneurship.
to entrepreneurship, in Allen County, tobacco was a big thing, and it's still a big thing, but, about every farm had a tobacco base. Now that's not the case, now you're seeing large tobacco farmers, 400 and 500 acres. And so there's a shift going on there, people are trying to do new things, there's a lot of interest in growing blueberries or
Yes,
doing,
right.
doing
Direct marketing,
direct
smaller
marketing.
crop size, et cetera.
A neighbor of ours, Kenny's Country Cheese, he's taken his dairy cows and making cheese out of it, and he's stated a number of times, hey, if I were just doing a traditional dairy, I would have been out of business. You have
Right.
Downey's
Downey
cattle
Cattle
farm,
Company.
who's doing direct sales of beef and pork and other products, and so there's a lot of things going on, and I think that's going to be the trend as we continue is looking for ways of adding value, small businesses and entrepreneurs, and that's
And-
what.
Yes,
what
and I was
Lindsay's
going to
seeing
say,
also.
a lot of communities have realized that it's much better to diversify instead of the one large business.
Yes.
If something does happen, that there is a downturn in that specific area, then they have some other businesses
Sure.
to rely upon. So I think the diversification in the small business really is more desirable for most communities instead of one large entity.
Absolutely. Well, that leads us to, again, the idea of the need for those specific skills that we talked about before, and really honing in on what I would call small business skill, more of the direct marketing, etc. And in a moment, we'll come back and ask you all to share more about the series of workshops that we've recently had and continuing to have in Scottsville. So we'll take a break, and you join us, stay with us. We'll come back and we'll talk more about those specific skills that you need to really be successful with small business. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I present to you Algebra 2 and Foreign Languages. Who will step up to their challenge?
Me.
Yeah, I'll do it. Me too. Sign me up.
Take on the tough classes now. You need them to prepare for college.
Well, welcome back with our discussions on workforce development and the opportunities that Lindsey Wilson College is providing you, your family, to actually make more money. And that's what we're all about in terms of the future of job security and having jobs. Linda, Richie, I know that we've talked about the importance to the general economy, but right now we're offering some very specific opportunities to actually help in small business or entrepreneurship as well. Linda, the small business, the entrepreneurial workshop series that you've just kicked off in Lindsey has been a great success.
Well, thank you. We're very pleased with their success. Actually, I want to give a little bit of background, if
Please
I may.
do to the center, because I know
Yes.
that's what started the workshop series.
Yes, we actually founded the Center for Entrepreneurship at Lindsey Wilson in the fall of 2010, and then became very actively involved with getting initiatives in place in the year of 2011. Some of our initiatives that year involved, first of all, sponsoring a Build Your Own Job seminar series.
Interesting.
Tying in just exactly with what we're talking about today, because we really realize the small business is where the growth will be. And that there are a lot of people that aspire to start a small business but absolutely don't have the tools to know how to approach that project. So we put together an 8-part seminar series that we sponsored, free to the public, materials, complimentary lunch provided with it. We opened it to the community at large and to surrounding communities around Columbia and the college. We began the series in February of 2011 and finished in November. We skipped the summer months for obvious reasons, that people were involved in other activities. But our attendance was great. The interest was very keen. We actually had over 150 attendees and touched over a dozen different counties in terms of people coming into the Center for
Very
Entrepreneurship
successful.
for the seminar.
Absolutely.
And as a result of that, we actually included high school students.
Okay.
And kind of evolving from that seminar series, we sponsored a business concept competition. First one at Lindsey Wilson College in November of 2011. Had great participation. We had high school students and our college students. And those students participated and were vying for $1,000 scholarships for the college.
So what were some of the concepts that students mentioned?
The very interesting. We had one young man who, by the way, is going on to present to the Kentucky Entrepreneurial Coaches Institute in Lexington, DreamFit, which was a customized physical fitness type of program. Totally on the internet, where
Yes,
a traveling person could be involved any time of the day to set up with a personal trainer and get an exercise program set in
That's so
place.
interesting like that. And
Yes.
Richie, some of the concepts that kind of spun off of this original series in 2011 are part of today's workshop series right here on the public square.
And we wanted to talk to the audience out there and let them know that there's already been 2 series that have already occurred, but there's
Yes.
series number 3 is coming up, and it'll be coming up next week, the 26th of July.
That's correct.
And it is on how to get funding to
So
start a
important.
business.
So
And,
important.
you know, it is free, you know, so if there's anyone out there that, you know, have any idea of wanting to find out about starting a business, and then I would encourage them to come to Scottsville. You know, there will be information on the TV screen about how to enroll.
Contact
It is
information on the website.
It is all free,
Yes.
but it's on the next seminar is going to be on funding and how to get funding to start a small business.
That sounds
And,
great. And then the next seminar, I
Then,
think?
then the next seminar is August the 23rd,
Okay.
and it is on understanding business law, which is so important.
Very important today.
And I think Lindsay is partnered with a law firm from Louisville, and they'll be coming down and giving information, background on business law. That is free also, and you know, so if anyone has any interest, you know, about starting business, then you know, they want to just kind of find a little more information, then they could come to both those seminars. Both of them are free, and you know, that's how people get started in business. You know, learning, getting as much information as you
Oh,
can.
sure,
and-
the mechanics
and
of
mechanics
actually the
of it.
foundation, which is
Yes.
funding, and understanding the legal ramifications
Yes.
of setting up
Yeah.
the business with tax structures.
Our first 2 seminars, we started out with preparing a business plan.
Okay.
And then preparing a marketing plan. Third one, the one coming up, the 26th, would be seeking the funding, identifying the funding. And then the 4th one, business law. How are you going to form if you're going to have a limited liability
Sure.
corporation, if you're
Sure.
going to have what type of setup are you going to have? And what